Here we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. In the xy plane above, the graph of y equals to a times x 93 the whole square 92, where a is a constant, intersects line L at 2 points p of 0, 16 and q. What is the equation of line? Okay, our aim is to get the equation of this line. And when I go over the answer choices, in each answer choice I have the equation of the line in slope intercept form. That is y equals to mx cos to b. Okay, here this b represents a y-coordinate of the y-intercept. Okay, when I look at the y-intercept of the line over here, the y-coordinate is 16, so this is the value of b. Okay, still we need the slope of the line m. How do we have to get the slope of the line m? Okay, here we have 2 points on the line. One is P and other one is Q. Actually, P is the y-intercept of the line and this Q is the x-intercept of the line. Okay, here once I get the point Q, I'll be able to use the formula rise over run to get the slope of the line L. That is, I can get the value of this constant m. Then we'll have the equation of the line. Okay, now our aim is to get the point Q. Actually, we have this point Q on the parabola as well. Actually, this point Q is the x-intercept of the parabola. Okay, if I want to get the x-intercept of this parabola, that is point Q, I have to plug in y equals to 0 in the equation of the parabola. But the equation of the parabola is not complete because there is an unknown constant a. So our first work is to get the value of this unknown constant a. For that, we have to plug in one of the points on the parabola into this equation. Okay, we know that the point P of 0, 16 is on the parabola. Since we have this point on the parabola, we can plug in this point into the equation of the parabola. So that is, I have to plug in this x coordinate 0 for x over here and y coordinate 16 for y over here. Okay, now let me do it. When I do so, I am getting 16 equals to a times 0, negative 3 the whole square, negative 2. 16 equals to a times 0, negative 3 is negative 3. Negative 3 whole square is 9. That is a times 9, negative 2. So now we can add 2 to both sides. When I add 2 to both sides, negative 2 positive 2 will cancel. I am getting 16 positive 2. 18 on the left side and a times 9 can be written as 9a. Let's divide both sides of this equation by 9. Then this 9 will cancel out. When I divide this 18 by 9, I am getting 2. On the right side, I am getting a. So now I got the value of the constant a in the equation of the parabola, that is 2. Okay, now what we can do is we can plug in this value 2 for a over here. Then the equation of the parabola will be complete. That is y equals to 2 times x negative 3 the whole square, negative 2. Okay, our aim is to get the point Q, which is the x-intercept of the parabola and line for both. Okay, now to get the point Q, what we have to do is, that is x-intercept, we have to plug in y equals to 0 into the equation of the parabola. Because at x-intercept, always the y coordinate is 0. Okay, now let me plug in y equals to 0 to get the x coordinate of this parabola, that is a point Q. Then we get 0 equals to 2 times x negative 3 the whole square, negative 2. Okay, now let me add 2 to both sides. When I do so, this negative 2 positive 2 will cancel out. Then I'm getting 2 over here. Then we get 2 times x negative 3 the whole square on the right side. Let me divide both sides of this equation by 2. When I do so, this 2 will cancel out. So here 2 divided by 2 is 1 and on the right side we get x negative 3 the whole square. Okay, now to get of this square, we have to take square root on both sides. Okay, when I take square root on both sides, on the right side the square root and square will cancel out. Usually when we take square root on both sides, for this square root we have to consider positive or negative sign. Okay, here positive or negative. Square root of 1 is just 1 and here we have x negative 3 on the right side. Okay, now what we can do is we can split up this equation into 2 parts. One time we can write for positive sign and other time we can write for negative sign. Let me continue over here. That is 1 equals to x negative 3. The other part is negative 1 equals to x negative 3. Okay, here let's solve for x in this equation. For that we have to add 3 to both sides. When I do so, negative 3 positive 3 will cancel. I am getting 4 equals to x. And here also the same thing. We have to add 3 to both sides. When I do so, negative 3 positive 3 will cancel. I am getting 2 on the left side. That is negative 1 positive 3. On the right side we have x. Okay, already we have taken y equals to 0. So the first x-intercept of the parabola is 4, 0. The second one is 2, 0. So here we get 2 x-intercepts for the parabola because the parabola intersects x-axis at 2 points over here and here. Okay, clearly this x-coordinate over here, x-coordinate of this x-intercept 2 is smaller than the x-coordinate of this x-intercept 4. So 2 must be here and 4 must be here. So the point Q has to be 4, 0. Okay, here I got the point Q. Now we can use the formula rise over run to get the slope of line L. Let me write the stuff over here. Slope of line L equals to rise over run. Okay, now let's go to the graph. So the length of this line segment over here, there is OP represents the rise, and the length of this line segment OK represents run. Okay, actually it is a falling line. That is, when I look at the line from left side to right side, it's going down. Since it's a falling line, the rise has to be negative, and the run is always positive. Okay, now let's get the rise. So there is a length of this line segment. Okay, here we have the point, we have 0, 16. The y coordinate is 16. So that is the value we have on the y-axis over here is 16. So the length of this line segment is clearly 16. And here we have value 4 on the x-axis. So then the length of this line segment is 4. Okay, as I said earlier, since it's a falling line, we have to take rise as negative. That is, we have to take the 16 as a negative 16. And run is always positive. So the run is the length of this line segment, that is 4. When I divide negative 16 by 4, I am getting negative 4. Okay, now I got the slope of line L. Now let me write the equation of line L in slope intercept form, that is y equals to mx plus to b. Okay, here y equals to this m is a slope. Just now we got it, that is negative 4. We can plug in negative 4 for this m, then we get negative 4x positive. This b represents a y coordinate at the y-intercept of the line. We know that this p of 0, 16 is the y-intercept of the line. So this y-intercept, the y-coordinate is 16. This is the value of b. Okay, here I got the equation of line L, that is y equals to negative 4x positive 16. And I get this equation exactly in answer choice B. The correct answer choice for this question is B.